for a reason. Here we go. Back talking hoops. And the Kyrie rumor mill still spinning away. So yesterday, Dan Le Batard asked if the Miami Heat would be better off going after Kyrie instead of waiting around for Kevin Durant, to which Frank Isola tweeted this: from what I've heard, Kyrie for Kyle Lowry is not out of the question. So you're telling me there's a chance? All right, Nick, how dangerous would the Miami Heat be if they pulled off a deal like this, if they got Kyrie?
Oh, listen, I think in a perfect world, this is a great fit. What the Miami Heat need more than anything is someone who you can just give the ball to and can go get an easy bucket. And Kyrie doesn't get a lot of easy buckets, but he is so good at making tough, being a bad shot maker and a tough shot maker a la Kobe and getting to the basket, that he is a guy that you can just give the ball to and you don't have to run a play and go get you a bucket. But here are the hurdles, I think, Brew. First of all is this. On the Miami Heat offseason priorities, if Kyrie is one of their priorities, he is at best third in line. Number one priority is Kevin Durant, and I think yesterday was a sneaky good day for the Heat. There were reportedly two teams on Durant's wish list, the Suns and the Heat, and the Suns just made it a hell of a lot harder for them to get Durant. So I think Miami right now looks at themselves as potential leaders, at least in Kevin Durant's heart, of where he could go. Can they make the trade work? I don't know. If they don't get Durant, I think their next priority would be Donovan Mitchell ahead of Kyrie Irving. Donovan's locked up. He's younger. He's more reliable. Yep. He also is a guy that can, do the things Kyrie can do. They're both defensive liabilities, and you don't have to deal with the headaches that come along with Kyrie Irving. But if those two chess pieces come off the board, I think Kyrie would make sense. The question, however, is, you think Jimmy Butler would endorse this and enjoy playing with Kyrie? I don't know. I don't know that. I know Jimmy had his issues with, a lot of people Jimmy's had issues with. Most recently, Ben Simmons. Those are different guys, different personalities, but that would be tough. Is Spo going to enjoy the Kyrie experience? Because Spo has as much power at this point, I believe, as any coach in the league. And is Pat Riley going to, in his final years running a team, want to attach, his hopes to Kyrie Irving? I don't know the answer to any of those things, which makes it difficult from all three levels, from the team, from the coach, from the front office, because of all the baggage that comes along with Kyrie Irving. But I trust Frank Isola. I think Frank Isola is an excellent reporter and very good radio host as well, by the way. Not as good as Broussard, but very good. And I believe that the Heat are intrigued at the idea of Kyrie Irving, especially after Kyle Lowry got banged up again at the end of the year last year and is 36 years old. But I don't think he's top priority, and he certainly doesn't fit with what we perceive to be Heat culture, Brew.
Well, first of all, Nick, it was heartwarming to hear you speak kindly of Kyrie Irving, at least in the beginning. I hadn't heard that, and I don't know if I'd ever heard you say that, so that was good. I do agree with you about their priorities. KD, Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving. That's how it should be. I don't see how they're getting KD. I mean, it's going to have to be a very complicated 3 or 4 team deal. To your point, Phoenix is out, right? They can't trade Ayton anywhere until January. Yeah. They're not giving up Devin Booker. Like, they're out. Even multi-team deals, I don't see how the Suns get Kevin Durant. But Kyrie Irving, you're right. Like, you talked about it from a Heat perspective. I think Jimmy Butler would be fine with Kyrie if Kyrie comes in and works hard. Like, to me, that's what Butler wants to see. Do you come in and work hard? Kyrie is not soft. Like, he had problems with Karl Anthony Towns because he thought he was soft. Ben Simmons, issues, he won't shoot the ball, things like that. Kyrie's not soft. Kyrie just has his issues of showing up and problems with authority. If he can bring that together, I think he'll be fine with Jimmy Butler. The question is, how will Kyrie handle Heat culture? Because Heat culture is the opposite of Kyrie Irving. It's authoritative. It's Pat Riley's way or the highway, and then from him, Eric Spoelstra.
Right. He doesn't do well with that.
Kyrie is completely the opposite of that. We don't need a coach. Right. We don't need somebody making us run on the first day of practice, putting his philosophy on. No, direct opposite. However, I've been told, we all know it's just logical, but I also been told by someone who has some connection to Kyrie, he understands this year, wherever he's at, is all about rectifying his image. He is going to not only play his best, he's going to show up. He's not going to be a problem. He's going to be a professional because he understands he has to, if he wants the bag next summer, he's going to have to do all of that. So the question is, could he handle it? Like, is it so innate to him to push back on authority that eventually he cracks, or will he be able to handle it? Because it'll be tough for him. But Jenna or Wilds, I think they'd be better. Because Nick was right. They need an offensive injection. They need a talent boost. I don't think they're that great of a team, even though they got to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think they'd be better with Kyrie, although they probably wouldn't get as far. But I still would do it because right now they're ho-hum, they're blah, no, they're not exciting, and they don't have a chance of winning a championship as good as they might be. So bring in Kyrie, see if it goes well, and he might be a guy you keep long term if he can turn himself around and change his attitude.
See, my biggest question, Broussard, doesn't have to do with what you refer to as Kyrie's challenges with authority. It's where he wants to put himself in the leadership structure, right? So in Cleveland, it's like, all right, this is LeBron's team. If I was the number one pick, I'm going to leave. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons, and this is just a cursory sort of rationale. Goes to Celtics. I'm going to be the leader of the Celtics. Didn't work out. Comes to Brooklyn. Calls himself, not only like everybody can coach, so he wants a role in the coaching, also refers to himself 2 months ago, Nick, as one of the cornerstones of the franchise. So when you go to Miami and you sort of laid out that hierarchy of not only ownership,
You're
but
just
Pat
an
Riley
employee.
and Spo. And don't forget, Haslam's in there. Like Haslam's
just like that.
that's thriving on confrontation. I don't know if that's I don't know if that would work. Like, all right, am I a cornerstone here? Like, no, man. Haslam's going to yell at you every once in a while.
Let me say one other thing from the Nets' perspective. Let's assume for the moment Durant gets traded. Say Durant gets traded to Toronto for OG, Siakam, and a bunch of picks, whatever it is that he's traded. That Kevin Durant is traded. If you are the Nets and Kevin Durant has been traded, Brew, let me ask this very quickly: would you rather have Kyle Lowry at 36 years old with 2 years left on his deal and a draft pick, or Russell Westbrook with 1 year left on his deal and a draft pick? Because if I'm the Nets, if I trade KD, I'd rather have Russ, because I can get off the contract. I think you can say maybe Russ can reclaim some of the Wizard stuff when it's a Russ-centric offense, and worst case scenario, it's only 1 year. If you still have KD, then I'd rather have Lowry probably. But if you are stripping it down, if you trade KD, which offer would you take if you're the Nets, Brew? Lowry in a pick or Russ in a pick, given Lowry's age and contract?
Nick, as much as I don't necessarily want Kyrie if I don't have Kevin Durant, I definitely don't want Lowry at his age, and I don't want Russ either. I think I'd keep Kyrie and see if he's going to play nice. And see, it's the team he wants to be with. He's at home. He's got to play